What's up, guys? It's your girl, Mac Cox from A Couture Crafting. I am your quilty BFF, and it is our favorite time of year. It is QuiltCon reject time. I know it doesn't sound great, but really it is a treat for us. I'm going to break this video down into two sections. The first section, we're going to address and talk about and throw around some of the concerns and the comments that we've heard about QuiltCon. And then the second part, we're going to go on ahead and check out the hashtag, the QuiltCon rejects. I have grabbed as many as I could find so that we can go through them. This video is going to be a little longer. So grab your tea. I'm drinking eggnog at midnight. It's a thing. Going ahead and chill out, hang out with me. If you want to skip directly to where the quilts start, I'm going to go ahead and timestamp that down for you. If I talk too much for you, feel free to put me on mute. Feel free to watch me on double speed. Feel free not to leave a comment and tell me that I talk too much. I don't need that in my life. We don't need any negativity in our lives. And do not, under any circumstances, say anything negative about the quilts that I show. I will block you before your comment is even seen. This is all about celebrating. I do not tolerate any mean stuff against a quilter on this channel. We do not do that. So please jump in the comment section. Love on these quilters. They put themselves out there and submitted some amazing quilts. This QuiltCon reject show right here is going to be a good one. Trust me, I have already seen them as I was curating them and putting them together. So let's go on ahead and get into it. So the first things first, QuiltCon is a quilt show put on by the Modern Quilt Guild. It is an amazing show. It keeps growing and growing and getting larger and more popular, and more submissions are being submitted. And it's a thing. QuiltCon is indeed my Super Bowl. I get very excited about this particular show, and not because I'm a modern quilt girly. It's the show, it's the people, it's the vendors. It is just done so well. That being said, when the rejects come out, there's always some conversations that come along with it. There's some critiques that come along with it, and I get it. However, I have never put on a quilt show. I do not understand all the ins and outs of it, but I do see quilt shows a lot. I travel across the country going to quilt shows constantly. You see it on my channel. So I feel like I'm starting to see some things and notice some things, and I have some opinions. I asked my friends, I asked my guild members, I asked as many people as I could about their feelings in regards to QuiltCon and the submissions and what they think is going great and what they think could possibly, use some improvement. And I got a lot of different responses. My favorite one was from someone we all know and love who was like, it's their show, let them do what they want. It's like, okay, I get it. I understand that it is their show and they can do what they want. And what we know for sure is that what they're doing is working. Again, it is growing. It's great. People love it. It's prestigious. It's kind of the only one of its kind at this point. So, kudos to QuiltCon for having such an amazing show. In 2024, somebody told us, or leaked, or however you want to put it, the statistics in a different way. Usually they tell you how many quilts were submitted and they tell you how many quilts were accepted. They don't tell you how many individuals are in the show. Because QuiltCon currently allows for an individual to have up to 4 quilts accepted, it's interesting to know those statistics, right? So in 2024, someone said that there were 469 quilts accepted. From those quilts that were accepted, there were 338 individual quilters that had at least one quilt in the show. So 74% of those quilters had only one quilt accepted. And of course, they did the math on that. And that would mean that there were 131 spaces, additional slots for quilters if they only got one quilt in. If everybody was only allowed to get one quilt, there are 131 more people that could have possibly been accepted. So in 2025, so this year that we're coming up, so QuiltCon will be in February of 2025, the reject letter said that 2,269 quilts were submitted and 460 were taken. Now remember, they are having these shows at different locations, so I imagine the number of quilts that they can take Probably varies depending upon the location. This year we'll see 460. I am actually super cool with that. People are like, well, they just need to make it bigger. And wait. QuiltCon is big. It's very, very large. It's super well attended. And honestly, as someone who walks the show, about 500 quilts is enough. I mean, it's enough. Yes, you could make it so there needs to be multiple days. And there are shows that I would like to go to that have more and accept all the quilts. And that's a thing, but that's a different show. I think QuiltCon is nailing it right now. I think about 500 quilts, that's enough. I get it. So that's not my thing. I'm not saying that they need to expand. I'm not saying that QuiltCon needs to have another QuiltCon later on in the year. That's not my suggestion. But one of the concerns is about people being able to have multiple quilts in the show. And I have gone all around in circles about that. I've talked to people who have actually gotten the max amount of quilts in the show. I've talked to people who have submitted, who were rejected. I've talked to people who got a few of them in, so on and so forth. And I have gone round and round about that because I was thinking, initially, I was like, one quilt. You get one quilt in. You can submit however many you want. Just know that only one is going to get in. And if you do that, my idea was to have people rank their quilts. So you would rank, your quilts, how you would want them to get in. So if, you got 8 quilts in and it was that one or whatever, there's a way to do that. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, maybe you can have more than one quilt in a different category, but then you mess around and somebody will sweep it. Somebody will do a sweep, which could be interesting. I think there's something very interesting about that too. But I think that for me, the show that I want to see is about diversity. How many quilters can we get in? If we've only got 500 slots, and I'm rounding up because you only have 460. But if we only have 460, I don't know that 4 of anybody should really be in. Although I struggle because when I think about the Steph Skardals and whatnot, I'm like, I wouldn't mind, but really I just need to see a Steph Skardal show. But anyway, that is one of the concerns. And I get it. I feel like that's a legit concern. Some stuff is just unreasonable, but I feel like that's a legitimate one. And it's one that they might want to think about. They've actually lowered the number from 5 to 4, but I'm like, y'all need to either crap or get off the pot, as they say. Make it 1 or just let people do what they want to do. I don't know. Something else that came up were the photos. So it's photo-based jurying, I should say. So to get your quilts in, you submit and then it goes through a jury. The jury is comprised of, I want to say, a board member from the Modern Quilt Guild, a staff member from the Modern Quilt Guild, 3 fiber artists, and maybe somebody else. And they do the initial sweep through all the quilts and they narrow it down to their 460 or whatever. And then from there, they go to judging who decides who's going to win in the categories. They're picking off of a picture. Now, if you can hire a professional photographer, or if you are a professional photographer, you do have an edge. And sometimes we've known people who have photoshopped their stuff, and we already know how that goes. So I don't know. I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating excuse me, a beautiful show. So I don't know that that really needs to be messed with, but I know that one of the concerns was about the photo-based jurying that happens. Another concern that came up was credit for your work. If you are piecing a quilt and you're not finishing the quilt in its entirety and you win for machine quilting or whatever, and you didn't quilt it, come on. There needs to be maybe a separate category. Actually, they do have piecing. I don't know if that is truly right. Well, yes, I do. I know that's not right. We all do. We all know that's not right. If you are quilting it, and I get it, paying a quilter, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be the quilter you're paying. Do not get me wrong. I get it. I understand why someone would want a professional quilter or a long armor to do their work for them, to finish their quilt. I get that. However, that might need to be a shared win, and they do, most shows do ask who quilted it, and you tell them, but I don't know. I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are curating a beautiful show. So I don't know that I really have a fix for that. I think that the way that QuiltCon is doing their stuff, honestly, is okay because they are c There's something there. I think that was another valid one. Social media influence. People were posting, so it's supposed to be anonymous, and it is anonymous. The jurors and the jurors and the people who are oh my goodness, the people, the judges, the people, the team. They are supposed to be. It's supposed to be anonymous. But people were posting their quilts saying, "Oh, this is my submission to QuiltCon. I hope they like it," and tagging QuiltCon and tagging QuiltCon. Just it's a lot. Social media is great, however, it's also not great. They were talking about possibly not having quilts submitted that have been put on social media, which was a requirement for some of the shows back in the day. And I understand that. I understand that social media can create a bias. We know I can look at certain quilts and be like, I know who that is. We just can. We know. Um, and I was like, wow, people really, and I didn't think about that. People really do, say, hey, this is my submission, blah, blah, blah. And it's a trip. The category groupings are kind of strange. There are some categories that are based on technique and style. There's some that are based on technique, and there are some based on style. And this can be a little tricky right there with some of the categories. I can kind of see why people would want their categories all based on technique versus the style of it. Style like maximalism, that kind of thing. I don't know. Audience fatigue. I didn't think about this. People will post. I didn't think about it until I was going through these pictures. A lot of people whose quilts got into QuiltCon were posting their pictures like, hey, this got into QuiltCon. I don't want to see that. It's not time to see that yet. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy for you. But can I be surprised? Can we see it all when it's coming out? Oh, I've got a friend who's got one that I cannot wait to see in person. It's not the same. I know it's not the same. And I know people get so excited and we're doing it all for the likes and all that kind of stuff. But my goodness, give me a minute. Give me a minute to sit with the rejects before we sit with the, hey, this quilt got into QuiltCon. We'll shoot. I never thought about it until I was sitting there like, man. And I was like trying to go through them really fast. Like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I want to be surprised. And I say that as someone who brings you the quilts. So I guess you're like, well, you do it too, but I can understand about audience fatigue. Some of the proposed solutions still limit the quilts that one can be accepted. Not that you can enter. That's one of the ways they make money. Enter whatever you want to enter, but I think that you should only have one accepted. And I know somebody was saying, lots of people were saying, it depends upon what's your goals of the show. What's your goal of your show? Is it to be diverse? But some people were like, it's to show the best quilts. But with 3,000, well, I'd say with about 1,500 quilts that didn't get in, you can put a whole nother show, an excellent show together with those quilts. I talked about the ranking system for the submissions. Rank your submissions by preference, ensuring that your most important work is considered if you get multiple quilts in. The transparent judging process. I don't know that I really need to know who the judges and the jury is. I don't know that I really so much. I don't know that I'm really torn about that. I think it should rotate every year so that you always have a fresh show. But I don't know that I'm like, ooh, who was the judge this year? I know who the judges were last year because I knew them, but I'm like, I don't know. And the judges, there's usually two people from the quilt world and then one who is just a designer or something outside that has to do with something creative to come in. Challenges to consider. Space limitations, right? They can only do what they can do. 460 quilts, that really is enough. It's a beautiful show. You don't feel overly fatigued. Let me tell you, there's something very different about the way that I take in a QuiltCon. When I am taking in QuiltCon, my brain is doing something different than when I go to other shows. I am really sitting with these quilts. I'm really analyzing them. I'm really trying to figure out how it fits into this category. I don't know what it is about QuiltCon that really takes me there. It's really pushing my brain. And when I'm finished with QuiltCon, like just looking at the quilts, I am inspired and exhausted at the same time. It's a lot. It's a lot that you are taking in. A lot of politics in regards to quilts, like a lot of social justice quilts. QuiltCon is heavy. It's a heavy show. 500 is enough. It is enough. I've gone to shows like the one in Utah where you're just walking through a garden of quilts and you're just vibing and you're just feeling it. I feel like at QuiltCon, we're standing there, we're talking, we're discussing, we're having all these feelings, we are chatting, our friends are there. It's a different vibe. I'm telling y'all, if they doubled it, y'all would be like, "Ooh, this show is a lot. I'm gonna have to be here for 5." You guys would complain. You guys would complain. And then we talked about maintaining fairness, and they're doing the best they can with that. I think I know some people. I don't think people really understand how the jury and the judging process really works before they like speak on it. I think people are talking about, oh, this is their friends and all that. It's clicky. I don't know. I don't know that I'm seeing that. I think that there are some people who just have exceptional work, and you do tend to see it a lot because it fits exactly that aesthetic. It just fits the modern aesthetic so well that it's easy to pull their stuff. So I don't know. But in closing, I really just want to say, let's celebrate these people who submitted their quilts. I get so sad when I read the comments and people get down on themselves and they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I know it's tough. This is a hard show to get into, and I love that about that. It's so prestigious to be able to say, I have a quilt in QuiltCon. It's cool. It's our thing. But it sucks because that means that there are a lot of people who are rejected. And unfortunately, there's not another show that is like QuiltCon that you can really show off in a modern, specific quilt show kind of way. There are some smaller shows, there are some larger shows, but the larger shows tend to lend a little bit more toward traditional. They're traditional shows, and this is a show that's just special, and I love that for this show. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I want to just encourage people to continue to try. Just because you didn't get in this time or you've never gotten in doesn't mean you never will get in. But I guarantee you, if you never try, you won't for sure. And then I'm never going to see your stuff. And then it's going to upset me. That's going to upset me. So try to keep your head up. You guys are amazing. Y'all are quiltresses out there doing your thing. I love this time of year. Do not be down on yourself. Only 20% were accepted, guys. That's insane. Somebody was like, that's almost as difficult as getting into veterinary school, and it kind of is. So there's that. So before we get into these quilts, I want to talk about the categories that we can look forward to seeing, and then the categories that these quilts might have fallen into. So we would have the best in show, the best machine, best hand quilting, best original modern design, the Modern Quilt Guild Breakthrough. That's a new one. Somebody made a very large donation, which doubled all the monies this year, which is huge for us. Best in show will now take $10K. Best machine, best hand quilting, best original modern design. The Modern Quilt Guild Award of Excellence, the People's Choice, will all take $2,000 a piece for each of those categories. The new category, which is made for a newer quilter, I'm not sure how I don't know what constitutes newer, but the MQG Breakthrough, what's supposed to be innovative or whatnot, that award is $3K. So the newer quilter takes more than the best machine, best hand, best original modern design. That was interesting to me. But when you're donating your money, you can say, hey, I want it to go here, there, yada, yada, yada. The other ones that were, I think they're like 1,500, like 1,000 for first, 500 for second, and then I think 200 for third, would be the group or B, the applique, the handwork category, improv category, improvisation, minimalist design, modern traditionalism, use of negative space. Whoop, whoop. I love that category. Youth. Then there's a piecing. I love that too. And the small quilts. So there are tons of categories. I cannot wait to get there and see who's doing what the vibe is. I have never been to a QuiltCon show that I wasn't like, this is good. I've never been to one that I'm like, oh, why is this? I'm no. They put on an excellent show. Absolutely excellent. So I know that there are some things that are still a little sketch, but I know that they're doing the best that they can, and they are growing. You know, it's growing pains. They've run into some bumps and whatnot, but we're going to give them grace, and we're going to go and keep going and supporting because this is really important to our community. Again, it's a one of a kind kind of thing. So I look forward to it. So now let's get into these quilts. Let's see what's really going on out there. Okay, let's start this off with a bang. Now, if I did not get your quilt, it's just because I probably didn't see it. Not because I don't like you, not because I don't think that your quilt deserved to be in this. It is not that serious, guys. I'm just trying to grab and love on and appreciate the ones that I could find easily. So please do not be offended in any way. And there's a lot of quilts, guys. So there's some that I'll probably will talk longer on or not. I don't know. I'm just going to move how I feel. So just roll with me. Again, you can watch this on double time. You can go do this yourself and find all the quilts. Or you can just vibe with me. Grab your tea, grab your eggnog, and let's just chill. Okay, let's start this off with a bang. What is this? Get Made Co. I think it looks like we've got a couple of submissions. We are using some half rectangle triangles here with a good old 4-patch or 9-patch with some checkerboard, with a checkered board in the border. And I believe that this is the Wyndham Challenge. Excuse me, I am catching or trying to get over something. Bear with me. I like that they challenge themselves to use all the fabrics. You only have to use 3 for the challenge. And here they use them all. And I think that is challenging. So I like that. We've got a close-up here of did they use mustard all the way through on everything? I think they did. Mustard thread. That mustard color is pretty cool. It's one that I really enjoy from that palette, even though that palette does not exactly call my name. Here it looks like we didn't use all of them, but we're still playing with half rectangle triangles, which I really think were all the rage last year. And then we've got this checkerboard here. I like it. I like that we've got this curved quilting inside with this hard edge here. Just trying to balance it out a bit. Love when you use a half rectangle triangle. Oh, it's such a mouthful. And you put them up next to each other and they give you an illusion of a curve. I love a 4-patch. This is so striking. What does that say with the red thread? I like that we use red thread there. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Oh. It's not like stained glass work, but it's like stained glass work. Love that we use this bright pink. Dropped it here in the center. Used it to offset the muted colors around it. It's a really neat color story. You've got this dark red that shows up on all of the corners. And then through the center, got the green with the light green. So it's three colors. 3 colors of blue, 3 colors of this pink, this red, this darker one. Oh, the orange with the purple. I like this. I think this was a great entry. I like this a lot. Okay. We've got like some maximalism going here. I kind of want to try that style. Can you see the arrows that are pointing down and the square that sits in here? Looks like we've got a panto that's kind of got an Art Deco feel to it. Then we've got these large polka dots. It's a good time. I think the interest for me comes in where this brown sits in the quilt and where it's repeated off to the side here. And it's a rectangle. I think this is pretty cool. Ooh, it's kind of like a phased. Are we doing like phases of the moon here? And I like these flying geese. I don't know if this is exactly a flying geese block, but it's flying geese-esque. I like the gradation of colors. I like that we used a pattern background here instead of just using a flat black. I like the colors in the phases of what I'm calling a moon. I like this. I like that one a lot. Ooh, Nova. So we've got some more. Okay, you've got a thing like I do right now for flying geese. And these flying geese are moving in a circle, looks like. I like these colors too. Pretty. Oh, we've got a pop of color in the corner, and we're going to balance it out on this other corner. Great use of Chula Pink's neons with this neon fabric here in the middle. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I feel like these eyes are looking at me. I wonder if these are eyes on one of the fabrics that have been cut up for this. That's a lot of half square triangles. Cool. Ooh, green. Green sitting on the outside, green sitting on the inside, and then just kisses of green in the blocks outside of that. Excuse me. It's interesting. Ooh, I love a good stark black and white that breaks up a bunch of color. This could be an I Spy quilt. It gives your eye a place to rest. If we are looking at this quilt in its entirety, I love that this just sits off to the right just a touch. I like that decision. Oh, we're going to go churn dash. Y'all know your girl loves a churn dash. Very interesting to see this done in all prints. I like to see where QuiltCon picks the prints, you know, the quilts with the prints, because you get a lot of solids at QuiltCon, which is my thing. I love a solid. But it's really interesting to see what's happening behind these churn dashes and which colors were chosen to go with what color. I like it, but it's a churn dash, so I'm biased. We got a little applique work here, and looks like we might even have a bit of hand work on this. All right, you were doing all the things. This is interesting in the quilting. It looks like in each square, you're going to go up and down, and then in the next square, you're going right and left, which gives some really interesting effects in the solids here. Somebody can quilt too. These look just as pretty and as perfect as they can be. This is neat, and all the polka dots in the background. It's cute. It's a cutie patootie. Now, you know, with QuiltCon, you will get some quilts that are going to make a statement. And I see it here. I like the thread change, because it's clear right here that something's going on back here, that it was different. So we've got the color. I think we've got the yellow, the orange, and then the red. But I think back here, I'm not sure what color was used, but it wasn't that. Well, this is interesting. Oh, I like this. There's a concept with it. It's like it's opened up its cracks. Looks like a little fishy. It's pretty cool. Oh, we've got, is this a temperature quilt? The big reveal of the quilt kept me busy. Dakota's like Phoenix is getting hotter. Yes, I believe this is a temperature quilt. I love a data quilt. I just love it. I feel like there's nothing more modern than what is happening right now. And this is what is happening. Oh, so this was over 100 years degrees from each 1932 to 1920 to 2023. Wow. How can Phoenix be getting hotter? Phoenix is already super hot. Ooh, I like the quilting in this one. You know, in this other picture, the way that the light is hitting it, it makes it look like these are different colors. But I think this is all one color strip. At least it feels that way here. And I really do like the quilting and what happens in the center there. It's interesting. And I love when quilts are modeled, like something inspired that quilt. And this clearly inspired it. Bring it to life. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, we got some applique work with a really interesting background fabric. I wonder how large this quilt is. What a cool use of that background fabric to put that with it. And it looks like we've got some Andover fabric. Is that some juicy juice? We like juicy juice. That's a big quilt. I like it. Ooh, this one calls me. I would sit with this quilt for so long. At QuiltCon, I would keep walking past it. This is the kind of quilt that I want to see hanging in my house. I really like this. It's simple, it's elegant, it's sexy. I like this quilt so much. It's so sleek. Oh, I like that. What is this? What's this? It's a Dotson Beatrice. It totally looks like a Dotson. This quilting is giving me hair vibes, which I'm sure it's supposed to. Nailed it. QuiltCon. Benjamin Myers. I wonder how they got the hands to be. I guess it's kind of got like a trapunto feel. I wonder how many layers of batting was used so that they could get this. Because it does make me just want to kind of put my hand in there and touch it. And touch their hand. Ooh, this is graphic. What kind of a peahen? That's pretty cool. I wonder if this is done using foundation paper piecing. Great matchstick quilting that goes through the behind. It goes behind the bird, and it's so tight. It's so tight. It looks good, and it doesn't take away from the quilting that is happening on the bird. I love how this bird is looking backward and it's so full here. This is great composition. Ooh, I like shape quilts. I like when they're not perfectly square or rectangular or whatnot. And we know that I love a checkerboard. So here we go. Is that Yakko? Where did they find these fabrics? I want an Animaniacs fabric panel or something. I think this is my favorite part, though, the outside. These binding corners here. And the fact that it looks like it's faced right there. I see you. Facing a shape. Technique. Looks good, too. Looks tight. Now, this is sleek and simple and crisp. This is based off a Dear Jane block. That's what I'm talking about. Find a block and then work that sucker. Do your study. It's an interesting use of transparency on this too. Check out how this color looks as it's sitting over that one. That's awesome. Awesome. Don't be fooled by the simple stuff. There's stuff there to unpack and to love on. Ooh. This makes me kind of like that color story a little bit. This is interesting because they've done some, I think this is quilting on top of this. It's like it's given the fabric a texture. It's made a solid, not solid. And I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. I think this is also eye-catching. I quite enjoy it. I see something about a bedroom on here, and I'm not reading all these, but I could build a whole bedroom that would be so sharp off of this. This actually makes that color story make sense for me. How they've used it and how much color and where they placed it. Okay, I see you. I really like that. This is big, 91 by 86, naturally dye painted, hand pieced, and embroidered. I wonder which category they entered this in. Huh. So this one in Quilt National for handwork. Wow. Okay. 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 Hmm. What do we have here? We've got some hand stitching that looks amazing. It's so precise. It looks like it is just perfectly done, like they did it with a Sashiko machine. And then I like the quilting that's behind it. That is that hand stitching too? Different color, thread change. Something about this little strip right here just makes this quilt for me. It's just a little kiss of something. I like the composition of this. Ooh, black and white stripes. You can't go wrong with the black and white stripe on your border ever. Ever, ever, ever. I I really enjoy how this red is sitting on it. It goes over the white. So it looks like it's a circle pantograph, but when it hits the white, it just pops out and adds to the composition and the design. And I really do like that. Oh, wait, did I miss? Did I miss more? Oh, we've gotten good and graphic here. I wonder if this is how it was intended or if this was turned. I do find it interesting the way that it's sitting. The black and white, of course, is a great addition to this. But do you guys see the quilting? How in the triangles it's really, really tight, but in this bottom section, I don't even know, in the white section of the triangles, it looks really tight. I don't know if there's any quilting in the red that passes through the triangles. And then we have like a braided kind of panto in the back. Wow. We've got 3 quilts here using tons of color with the really, really close up of them. We've got a portrait, and I sure do like all this quilting in the back. It does make it look like there's a lot of movement happening back there. Oh, it's great how it goes around the tendrils. It looks really good. Love that. Look at that on the right hand side, all those swooshes. Swoosh away. Love the color of the hair on this guy. And the fact that you just see just a bit of that eye right there. I wonder if they considered submitting this as like a low volume part. I really like the back of this. This eyebrow looks amazing. And the hair looks, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I do like it from the back quite a bit. There's a woman who shared a story about gifting a quilt to someone and they used it upside down and she took it back. But I do really like this one. Look at those eyebrows on the other side. You can really see that quilting and it's cool. Again, I really like the color of the hair though. And there it is. Do I spy couching? Do I spy couching on this? I am here for it. And if I do spy couching, boy, is that perfect. How do you get your curves so perfect? Is it the back of the quilt? Or is it a different quilt? I do spy couching, but how come I'm not seeing it on the back? Oh, this might be I don't know what's happening. I wonder how they did this because I can't see. There's a couple of different ways to do it. We saw a woman do it using a straight stitch. And then, of course, I do it with a zigzag stitch that catches it. But I like that they tried to get this in. This is texture. Give me some texture. Ooh, this is pretty. It looks like wood stalks due to that quilting. And as busy as that background is, the focal images really do pop off of it. I spy an eye right in the center. Love this color story. I want to pull these colors and just play with them a bit. But sitting it on this purple with this green is great. Oh, with the little touches of black and white stripes. I see a face when I look at this. Like here's an ear right here. I don't know. I don't know. Is this black part of it? Is it like a really chunky binding? I like that too if that's a decision. It's pretty cool. More improv. I think my favorite part is this one right here. Whenever I see improv, I try to find my favorite spot in the piece. I wonder what color thread was used. Is this like a daisy? No, it's not quite daisy chain. The use of the white is perfect to just break it up. Definitely a maximalism kind of piece in my opinion. Oh, so this is this hand pieced? Wow. I really enjoy. I like that this is, I hope this is the picture that they submitted. I say I hope that even though this was rejected, this is a great section of this quilt in my opinion. The way that the colors are placed together here. You know, when you see quilts like this, don't think that somebody just grabbed it and let it happen. There were some serious decisions that were made here. And if I were seeing this at QuiltCon, I would really sit with it for a bit and look at how you put the colors together. What color did you want to touch another color and relate to that color, and where you place the blocks and how it looks in front of me and how balanced it is and whatnot. But I really like this section that you've chosen to showcase here. Ooh, look, it's hearts. This is cute. I like when people really try to use as many of the colors as they can. It's a great bed quilt. A little cuddle. I want to cuddle under that. Ooh. That looks like a ton of piecing that happened. Oh, that's quilting back there on that. I see you. Somebody's long armor let their machine cook. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes your long armor tries to give you a big old pantograph trying to save time and money. No, this is nice and tight. They basically made another fabric with this background. I wonder if it goes through the body of this image too. You guys, I want to take this class so badly. Oh, shoot. Shoot. I didn't hit a button. Shoot. Where are we? We are here. Y'all, I want to take this class so badly. So badly. I don't know how exactly she did this, but yes, please. But it's a really long class, and I don't have the time that I wish I had to dedicate to this. I am obsessed with this piece. This piece is living rent-free in my head right now. And part of it is the frame. You guys, the way that she did the frame, I'm like, it's like a painting. I love that she submitted this. I hate that it didn't get in. I want to see it in person. I want to take this class. It is nothing but texture. It's something different. You just don't see it all the time. And no, I don't know that I would use this technique on something that I would put on a bed, but for a wall hanging, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to be able to make this quilt, you can. She's teaching a class, and I'm here for it. Oh, I like this. The color story is just to die for. Look at that mint green sitting up against that bright red, up against that regular red, up against this pink. Yes, please. And the quilting that echoes these leaves. Yes, 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 yes. Simple, clean, pretty. Oh, yep. Oh, and it, oh, you just showing out right here. And it all comes together. Mine would not. I'd be okay with it, but mine would not. Oh, yes. Ooh, love that. Go Gingerly Quilt Co. I see you, sis. Did we see this already? I don't know. I like this color story a lot, though. Quite a bit. Quite a bit, quite a bit. Love that black and white with it. I'm not sure if we saw this, but how tiny that is amazing. And how straight that is absolutely amazing. Ooh, a Dalmatian. That was clearly a Dalmatian. Pixel quilts were all the rage a couple years ago. I'm glad to see people still doing them. Very pretty colors. I like the 9 patches in the corners. I like that this quilt feels very masculine, if I can say that. Hopefully that's not offensive to the maker. But you don't see quilts that lean a little more masculine. Everything is, super flowery. Ooh, we're playing with the shape here. I don't know if this is hand stitching. I wonder what weight thread that is, but I am really enjoying that echo shape that I can see. I hope you guys can see it too. I'm not sure if you can, but I can, and I like that. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. Love these detail shots. I want everybody to post their QuiltCon rejects just like this. Give me a big shot, then let me come in for the love. Let me come bring it in for the real thing here. Look at all those thread changes. Somebody was putting in work. I love your girl loves a thread change. I submitted 12 quilts this year and 2 were accepted and 10 were not. That's how you stack a deck. The odds were ever in your favor. And I ain't mad at you. Love this. In the top left corner. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. It's like the single girl, or it's not quite a double wedding ring, but it's the double wedding ring version. Here we are here with some more of it. You were feeling that shape. This is cute. Love the placement of the light pink here, and there. Love that. Love that, love that. Ooh, this one here, the color story with warm grays. Who uses warm grays? Oh, that looks good. With that lavender, with that purple, with that pink, and the kisses of yellow. Oh, I want that quilt. Oh, I want you. Okay, I just got excited. Y'all see that? Ooh, that is that top left for me. Top left. Friend, yes. Congratulations. 10 quilts. Did you do this all in a year? Crazy quilter. Oh, that's sweet. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Ooh, look at all of that piecing. That should go in the piecing category because that's a lot of piecing. Nice, simple quilting, beautiful colors. Looks good. It's like a trip around the world. Is this a trip around the world quilt? 2 accepted at QuiltCon, but this one wants to be a part of the rejects. Each row seems to be a different pattern. And I like the patterns I see. I like the continuity with the, why can't I think of the name of this block? Hourglass block. Hourglass? Feels right. Hourglass block. That's cool. The different sizes. Yeah, I like that. I could dig that. I could dig this quilting on this one. I hope you guys can see it. We've got some, it's kind of separated into columns here for the quilting. And we have like a quick switch right here. So this one goes from like there to there, that design. And then this design repeats right in this little section right there. I'm really digging the quilting on this, like really digging it. I would sit with this one a bit at a show. And we got some improv work here. I'm trying to find my spot. Which spot do I love? It might be right here where I see just a speck of that other color hiding in there, tucked away. Was I just looking at the back of the quilt? No, I wasn't looking at the back of the quilt. Was I? I think it was the back, and you might have just used a couple of pieces. Aha. Huh. Scrambled brain at 3 a.m. Is it 3 a.m. here? No, it's now like 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay. That's neat. It feels like just what they called it, scrambled brain. I like that it's a shape. I like the waviness of the edges. I like that it's not bound, it's faced, which means you don't see the border. And I like the swirls in the quilting. It's cool. I like the concept. This is an interesting use of a pattern fabric right here. And then we sit the circle there. Is this a use in transparency? Think about it. Think about it. No, I don't think it's a transparency. When this hits this, what? It's giving me something though. The design does feel clever. The use of the pantos to make fabric look like a different fabric is really effective. Oh, the holiday season is here. Is this quilt off to the side a little bit? I like that. Just a skew, just a hint of a skew. That white looks so good up against that red with all the pretty quilting designs in it. Oh, it's peppermint right there. Oh, yes to the peppermint. Peppermint, peppermint, peppermint. Can y'all see it with the diamonds? Excellent quilting job. That can get picked up somewhere. Ooh, the X's and the trees. Really like the color story told there. And I like the color story told here too. Enjoying the quilting that's super tight right here, and then it lets it breathe right through the center. So tight, and then lets it breathe here in the center. It's cool. You really can't go wrong with a 9-patch or a 4-patch for me. You just can't. Haha, with a little bit of selvage in there, it's gonna be okay. That's sweet. I should start hiding stuff in my selvages. I like this design. Like that one too. I like your submissions. It's great submissions. Panto going straight through. I like how this panto interacts with the fabrics and the piecing. This just gives me such beachy vibes. The color story here with that pop of orange. Love the hand piecing right down in the center there. Really like that. It's the back. That's right. Use up those scraps, y'all. Oh, is this a broken heart? Literally put my heart on the line with this one. Oh, this has got a story to it. Shattered. Each section has some different kind of quilting. On the left-hand side, we see a lot of straight line quilting. Over here, you've got different designs going through the sections. So tight right through here. I wonder if this is done pieced through, if it was pieced or appliqued on. This almost looks pieced into there. Wow. Yeah, I think it is a pieced. I think they pieced that. Oh, okay, I see you. I see you. You out here getting it. You did piece that. You better work. Okay, Quiltress, I see you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. Better work. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's serious business right there. It's so funny. As I exhaled right there, you know what? This is how people who are judging quilt shows get caught up. Because as I just exhaled, I thought, this looks like something my friend would do. And you know what? It's my friend's quilt. It just, you know, okay, Miss Trumbull, I see you. I see you. I like the color story here. It's crazy. You know what? Once you start to know somebody's work, look, I'm even talking to her in here. Once you start to know somebody's work, you just know it. You just know it. Now, of course, I didn't remember that this was hers, but as I was exhaling, it put me in the mind of her. See, that's how you get caught up. And then I know dewdrops like crazy. If you don't know, should I tell the story of how? No, I'm not going to tell that story. I'm familiar with dewdrops. Love dewdrops. Oh my goodness. How can this not be in QuiltCon? Oh, I want this in so badly. I guess I just want it in my house. Look at that eye. Look at how sexy that eye is. And the horns that are going back. I'm calling them horns. It's so stunning to me. This is such a stunning piece in my opinion. It's clever. The quilting on this jawline, the butterflies with the wisps. Ooh, I love this. I just love it. I just do. Well, that's interesting. It goes from edge to edge, these big, pretty designs. Look at that quilting. A little cussing for you, just a little bit. This is so cool. Look at the shapes inside the circle, how they're fractured just a little. And then this gray and black stripe back there. Oh, okay. You're that kind of quilter. Okay. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Yeah, I see you. And then there's a cat. Okay. This happens on accident for me. It's never on purpose. Okay. Look at all that hand quilting in the background. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I do like how this breaks off and you find it in other areas of this quilt. That's pretty cool. Which one's my favorite one? Maybe this log cabin sitting here. I want to play with a log cabin too lately. This is gorgeous. The quilting in these little corners here. Awesome. The flowers, very pretty. Very pretty color story too. I like that she didn't use black in the background. You use that blue. It's a gorgeous blue. Oh, look at all the paper piecing pieces. And they're Juki. Whose fabric is that? It's Moda, Riley Blake. Okay. I just assumed in you doing a solid, you're pulling a Kona. Ooh. When I saw And So I went crazy when I saw this quilt. It took home a prize in the UK. It didn't get into QuiltCon, but it took a top honor, I want to say, in the UK. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And I think it's very interesting that I did not realize that there are so many of her pieces that I like. I have followed her for like some years and have made stuff that she's designed, just didn't put it all together. Obsessed with her. And this particular piece, it's like this piece was made for me. It wasn't made for me, but it's like this piece was made for me. Can't wait to do that piece. Hated didn't make it to QuiltCon, but I think we'll see that in some other shows. If she keeps putting it in shows, it's gonna be in other shows. Oh, we got a lot of, what is that pizza? Your girl loves some pizza. Are these eggs? I eat eggs. Love pizza, pizza, pizza. Ooh, look at the swirls and the shapes here. That's just a lovely lap quilt. Pretty colors used. Fabrics. It just makes me want to be calm and breathe. The myth of Atlas holding the heavens on his shoulders. Girl with the ball. Very pop arty. Very comic, which is my thing. You know, this is right up my alley, and the color story is just perfect. Just perfect. Oh, that's cool. How did you make that? How is this made? How are these made? That color sitting right there and that darker color that sits right there and not here. This reminds me of those jawbreakers I used to eat as a kid. They're really large and you would be eating them down and they would look like this. Serious grid quilting. Is this grid? I think we're on the grid with this quilting. How is this made? It definitely glows. I can see it glowing through the computer screen. Well, this is pretty. This is a cool use of the fabrics. Nice shape that it makes in the middle. And then this cool quilting here. It's awesome. With a little Tula Hissy on the back. There's a special quilting right there. It's a great place to take a picture. Pretty colors. Interesting design in each of these squares. Oh, this is a temperature quilt. Let's go back. Temperature quilt of Melbourne. Okay. Y'all know I love a data quilt. Wow. The fuchsia just punches this one right up for me. Yes to that. And I like the quilting that sits in there. I like this quilt. Look at all the rulers used. Ruler work. How was this even made? Are they just appliqued on top of the... Who knows? It's based on an optical illusion. Partial seams. Hand sewn. Oh, no. We're not doing partial seams and we're not hand sewing all this together. It's beautiful, though. It's absolutely beautiful. I like how they use the colors on the back. Oh, it looks like it's needle turn. Is it needle turn? How do they get such smooth edges, though, if it's needle turned on that curve? Wow. I'm intrigued by that quilt. More of the challenge color quilts, half rectangle triangles, which are very cool. Do so much with them. More of the challenge. Kiss the joy. As it flies. These are interesting shapes. And we have an X. They had that X challenge, I think, last year. When I saw this, I thought this was so cool. It's like a deck of cards or a bunch of quilts that are stacked on top of one another. I mean, I know you can clearly see that, but look at the patterns of the ones from the bottom all the way up. I think this is a great concept brought to life. I see that little black flange in there. You working. Working. Is that an octopus that I see? They have the woman who does the sea glass coming to our guild, I think, soon. Love the rainbows. It's a lot of work to put those all down, but it never dawned on me to put the sea glass into a shape. Look at that. Oh, it says joy. Hiding the words in there. It's like a hidden Mickey. That's pretty. The use of this fabric or dyed fabric or however they did it to bring the dimension into this picture was genius. Is that couching or is that pieced in there? I'm not sure how they achieved this. What did I just hit? Because I know that's not it. Where are we going now? We are here. Forever Young Quilting. This feels like it would definitely go in a QuiltCon kind of show. In a good way. Not in a bad way at all. Definitely in a good way. It's this color use right here for me. Look at it. It repeats right here. That's just cool. I would have never thought to use plum. And then you get this little highlight here. It's cool. I like that this is a pattern piece. It's not just a solid fabric. With that navy blue. Is navy blue going to be my choice this year? I think I might be talking about navy blue in 2025. I like the stripe there. This is interesting. Lots of movement. And it runs right off the edge. If they had put a border on this, it just wouldn't hit the same. Is this a study in transparency? Because that's interesting to use a print for transparent work. I hope that I get to see somebody do that at QuiltCon. I hope I get to see some more transparent work with a print as opposed to a solid. Really want to see that. I'm sure somebody did it. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. This is so bright. This is so bright. Love this border print. Love it, love it, love it. With the flange, yes. Yes, yes, yes. What kind of fabric is that? Oh, this is couching too. That's not chenille, but what is that? Oh, I forget the name of it. And look, we glow in the dark. Love when stuff glows in the dark. Now, what do we have here? This feels like a perfect QuiltCon quilt. Collaborative energy. You got a ribbon at your local show. Your local show looks awesome. I want to come to your local show. Whoa. So much color. Got you. Oh, even the quilting is colorful. Ah, you know I love a variegated. You know it. This is some serious piecing. This is a lot of quilt right here. It's interesting that it still feels kind of balanced though with this, which is your focal image. And then this is a lot of heavy down here. But these side pieces, I guess, bring it all together for me. I'd like to see the top of this. It runs off. I can't see the whole quilt. Okay. Okay. I wonder if this is the top. Look at that variegated thread. Your girl loves a variegated. On black too? Sheesh. Another X marks the spot kind of quilt. I wonder if those are improv. And we've got a picture. I love how you did the background there to kind of set it apart. Ooh. Ooh, I like you. I like you. I like you. The circles in there, are perfection. And there's no quilting that goes through them. They're just sitting there being awesome. Look at the swoop on this shape. Oh, the colors too. Sheesh, I like that. I like it so much. I like this one too. You've kind of got a style. I can see your style here. I see the offset circles here. They're giving me something. They're giving it a little something. Ugh. It feels so bright and airy and yeah, wanted it. I like that you filled in some of the areas with colored squares. Interesting choice of thread because it disappears on this and shows up on that black. I wonder if this is a pattern or you just kind of went with it. Oh, it is a pattern. It's an original pattern. Very pretty colors. It feels winter or like a diamond. Low volume. That was a low volume. I keep wanting to see a full picture of this, but maybe I'll see it in another show. Because Snapdragon Quilting can be found at all the shows. So maybe she'll enter it in another show. She's been popping up everywhere I've been popping up this year. I like this one right here. It's just clean and just quiet, but still dynamic. And I like it. I like it. I like it. We saw these. We saw their work. We saw that one for sure earlier. Look at the X's. Are those hand done? They go all the way around. Do they go all the way around? Oh, that's my favorite part. Is that a hole? That is a hole. And the X's go around there too. I guess that's how they were binding. Oh, and then there's little X's at some of the intersections. It's a cool quilt. I like the hole. This quilt is old. This one snuck in there on me, guys. I think just really liked it. And it would have been so good in the transparency challenge this year. This would have been so good. Look, do you guys get it? Look right here. See? When the orange crosses white, you get this color. When the yellow crosses the white, you get a lighter color. So on and so forth. And it's awesome. It is awesome. Awesome. Oh, this just feels like we just should name it Flame or Fire or something. Half rectangle triangles again, guys. I am not wrong about their popularity. I called it. And again, with them, you see that they're doing a lot of the circular quilting to, I think, balance out how rigid and strong these shapes are. Just softens it a bit. What a lovely color story. Oh, I just love it. Right up my alley. We've got the orange bars here, and then the navy, and that blue, and this blue. And this blue balances out this yellow. This is incredibly balanced to have such a dark color strong right here. That orange, which is on the opposite of it, I like this. And then the binding appears to have all the colors in it. I'd like to see that binding closer, but I'm digging this. What is this? I think we saw like a super close-up of this, and now that we're getting one further away, I find it very interesting. I wonder what it says. Another doggy. You know, that's a color you don't see very often, that lime green back there, but here I think it works. What you doing, doggy? Ah, we're pieced. We're pieced. We're pieced. Ooh, transparency work. Oh, look at that purple. Obviously, I need to do a purple quilt in my near future because I keep just being drawn to it. It's beautiful. It's the quilting that we can't see back here for me. That quilting is amazing. It's echoing what we see in a way. And I hate that I can't get up on it and see it really closely. Ask and thou shalt receive. Oh, and I love that you gave me just a peekaboo of what the backing is. Backings are important, you guys. And sometimes I tell people at QuiltCon, if your quilt like gets pulled out from the crowd and it's like one of the top winners, they're going to see your backing. So, you know, be awesome back there. Be awesome. Nice color story too. It's giving a glowing effect. Oh, love this color up here, which I don't believe is the same color. I don't know if that's the lighting doing that, but I feel like that's a different color up there, which makes me very happy. This blue is also just glowing in here. What a color story. Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh, it's the little peep. You know, I love when people do this with the binding. So it's blue here, dark there. I don't know if that's a chocolate or a black. And you got the blue here, the blue here. It caught my eye, almost got away from me. It caught my eye. Oh. The background fabric is the same right in here. What you see here, used there. Very cohesive. I'm digging this quilted round corner. They're pulling these blocks out simply by the quilting, and I do enjoy that. Enjoyed. Ooh, this is so my kind of quilt. Yes, it's got the black and white, but it's just color and graphic and look at this okay, obviously I'm a purple girl today, but this lavender with this dark purple with this two little bits of blue here, you can see that blue is not repeated anywhere else in this, but it works, right? Then you have the peach and the red, which is repeated right here, but that peach isn't. I think this is very neat. I would sit with this for a while and just look at what colors are where and why. We've got this white with the black here. I want to make this. Who is this? The blanket. Oh, the blanket statement. She's been here. She's a quiltress. She's done that. Oh, how cute. The shirt. So this is going to be a transparency play. And the quilting in that circle. Oh, that's awesome sauce. How did they put that word on there? Oh, it might have come. Oh, maybe it was a t-shirt. Was it a t-shirt? No, that's cotton fabric. Who knows? I mean, t-shirts are cotton. I get that, but that's an interesting bit of quilting or piecing. The more pictures we see, the more interesting this is. Also very pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I liked that. Oh, look at these colors together. Oh, boy. Is that faced? How on earth do you get your edges this crisp? That's what I want to know. Hand stitched all the way through. I see you. Wow, this is active. This gives you energy here. Oh, yeah, they just have a style. They've got a vibe. I'd like to know more about this one here. This one really draws you in and makes you want to ask more questions. I wonder what the shape is here, what this is telling us. What's happening here? Look at all these gazillions of fish. Look at the one red one there. That's me. I want to be the little one red one. And that's what we zoomed in on. See, yes, this is what I want to see, pictures just like this. They're all pieced. Look at that. That's some piecing. Aw, you're a boat person. Where are we going? What's happening? Ooh, it does. It goes perfectly there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Nailed it. That didn't have curved piecing. Okay, so they're feeling like there's a lot of curved piecing that they saw get accepted, but who would know? There's 500 quilts, and I did not see all the submissions that were taken. So Sarah Ruiz says hers are non-curvy. Can't wait to see what hers are. Rainbow, here for it. That's a different take on a half rectangle triangle. They've split it up here. Well, that's something I need to try. We already talked about that. Ooh, a portrait. This looks so clear and graphic. The colors on this are just perfection. Oh wait, I'm jumping. I meant to do this. Oh. Ooh. Look at the bottom left down here, guys. Oh, I like this. This is very different. This is something that I don't see often. I want to see more from this artist. Io the Alien. Okay. I need to follow you. Love this color story. I actually kind of want to do a play or a pattern with this sort of. It feels very Corinne Sovey in a way. I mean, not with the words or anything like that. Just does it say "I hate you so much"? Right? It's a Khalees. It's a Khalees song. Is that what we're doing? Literally a Glee song. Oh, okay. Okay. I wonder what that's about. I'm going to have to go back and read that. Oh, I can't really see what we're doing here, but it feels right. Oh, boy. Look at that. I feel like I'm looking at a dragon, a sea dragon. But what I do like is how deep and dark this gets here. And that's something to really play with. Huh. Interesting. Look at all that color and excitement in that. It's an interesting shape. Color story feels masculine, which I like. I don't know why, but I want to see mustard put in this just somewhere. I don't know why. Because I think the design is just killer. And the quilting too. I think the quilting is cool. I like how much stuff is not quilted in this. But for whatever reason, I just want to see a little mustard. I don't know why I want to see mustard. Nobody told me. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a random desire. I guess knowing what the palette is. Love where they use the pink. This is awesome. Love the quilting that goes through this. I like this. I don't know why I want to see mustard. Is that a... Oh, so we've got a thread change here. It goes like red, then it hits that yellow. That red is on the blue. And then we have another color here. Let's see if we can get a full picture of that. Oh, but I wanted to see it. Sorry, I feel like we'll see those somewhere else. Wait. Nope, not what I meant to do. I meant to go back, then I meant to do this. Is this giving me like those 3D vibes? How did they... This is a transparency play? Oh, that's serious. Mm-hmm. The concept to do this and then to execute it, yeah, I'm surprised this got rejected too. And then I'm like, I wonder if they got it. I wonder if they understand. Of course they did. They are the professionals. They know more than I know, but shoot, I almost missed that. Y'all saw me catch it though. Okay. Ooh, we are back. See, I guess I'm just in a mustard mood. So maybe my color of the year next year will be mustard and navy. Maybe those will be the ones that I'll see. I like the use of the mustards. That's cool. I feel like I could have seen this one at QuiltCon for sure. It feels very QuiltCon-esque. So does this. Just the... Have I seen these quilts before? I don't know, but I like this a lot. Green and red can always get you right. And apparently if you drop a little purple in with green, that does it too. Remember the one that like was with the lady who did the mask that had all that purple in the background, but all the squares were green on it? Yeah, there's something to that color story. Oh, I wonder if this is a mini. Looks good. I hate that I'm not going to get to see that in person there. Yeah, this feels really cool. Color explosion, and I'm here for it. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Give me this. Just send it over here. Just send it over here. Oh, come on. Am I going to have to make that? Oh. One of these three got into QuiltCon, guys. Which one is it? Is it this one, or this one? I'm going to say it's this one. But it easily could have been this one too. This is a great, I'm going to have to play with this shape. It's an apple core shape, right? With the clammy, or the glam clam as Latifah calls it. Oh, killer. Just killer. Ooh, low volume. I see you, low volume. It's like, this is making me want to do low volume. We know I don't do low volume. Vanilla swirl. Ooh, this didn't get in? They are very vastly different quilts. Uh-oh, she's yawning at 2 o'clock in the morning. Knock it off. Oh, boy. There is nothing in this world that I would rather be doing than sitting here chilling with you guys at 2 o'clock in the morning looking at quilts. I am living the life. Oh, I like this. String quilt, no solids, lots of movement, dynamic. Here for it. These are very different quilts. An ode to bold. It is bold. Portland, Oregon. Oh, I hope I see this at the Oregon show. This should go to the Oregon show. Look at the quilting on this. It's so consistent. Wow. Wow. Hand quilters, y'all are just special. Y'all are just absolutely special. Wow. Love a thread change. Pink and green. It does look like a kaleidoscope. It 100% looks like a kaleidoscope. So many beautiful fabrics chosen here. Look at those greens. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, the flowers. Oh, I love the flowers in this bottom left-hand corner, in the center, and to the right. Here for it. Oh, hand quilting. Oh, look at the denim pocket that was there. Oh, there's another pocket with some embroidery work on it. It's excellent. This is dynamic. That navy. Yes. This is really cool. Look at how each bird is perfectly placed around here. Are those birds? I think they're birds. And they're all the same. I wonder how large this is. Yeah, that's a nice. This could absolutely exhibit somewhere. Oh, so could this one. Look, it's dark and then light, then dark, then light. And it gives a an optical illusion. Well, this is just excellence. Those African fabrics, are they the Australian fabrics? Wow, I really enjoyed those. Ooh, I'm enjoying this too. Which way are we gonna go? This makes me feel like Alice in Wonderland. That's cool shapes. That's a cool shapes. Those are cool shapes. And then another shape quilt. I like the shape of this quilt too. I would cuddle under that. I think this would look so good on a bed. Mm-hmm. And I like the quilting, this little swirl here. I like this quite a bit. Hey, this is my friend Lisa's quilt. She was trying to make hers glow. Lisa had a quilt hang in QuiltCon last year. That was just amazing. I loved it. This is really different and very interesting. It does look like it's glowing with the thread. Hey, look, it's a goose. It's a very, very large goose. This goose is a 4-foot tall goose on that quilt. That's a huge quilt. Wow, with the eggs. I wonder how they did that. That's pretty cool. We've seen the Phoenix temperature quilt. Well, this is a neat concept. They pulled out that pink. I think that looks great. That's a good quilt. Nice pattern. This plaid is so cool. There's so much texture to that quilt. I do like texture when I like texture. Here's some more texture. I wonder how they're achieving that. It's like they pleated it. Whole cloth, hand quilting. Ooh. Do I need to hand quilt? No, I'm not getting into hand quilting, but this kind of makes me want to. I can see the thread changes. I'm hoping you guys can too. Wow. Another kaleidoscope kind of thing here with the quilting in the corner of the shape. Is this the color challenge? Yes, this is color challenge stuff here. Low volume. I like this. It's like she made her own panel right here. Or he made his own panel. I'm sorry, Chris. Or she, I'm not sure. They made their panel right here. It's gorgeous. I wonder how they did that with the text. I love typography, and I would really like to see how that's stitched down and stuff. This is very cool. Another masculine color story. Nice hand stitching, white on white. That's pretty. And then just a kiss of color around to highlight that. This feels very under the sea. I wonder what this says. Is this the back of that first quilt? No. No, it's not. Nope. No, it's not. Excuse me. These colors up against this gray. Is the gray great? No, it's not a gradient. I think it's where the light is that's making, I mean, this is obviously a different color. I got questions on this one about where the light source is coming from. I do like this grid here. And then it gets tighter right here. Yeah, I'd sit with this quilt. I'd sit with it a bit. Tabby Cat's quilts. Look at that big arc there. And then this one. I'm enjoying these quilts. This shape and everything. Wow. Oh, that's a picture. If I ever did see one, that is a picture. Using all those prints. That takes such skill to do that. Look at the little bit of hand quilting that goes between the stitches. I also like the color story that's being told here. It feels kind of Southwest to me in a good way. Another high energy quilt with tons of prints being used here. Oh, look at this collage style quilt. I love that tulip pink kitty sitting in the moon. So much to unpack with that. It's the black and white. It's just perfect with this. This is cool. Ooh. Mustard. Mustard, mustard. I really want to scream it like Kendrick did, but I guess I won't do that. Shout out to people who know what on earth I'm talking about. Look at the quilting in this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know if it's a panto. Maybe. Oh, please have a close-up of this. Please have a close-up of how they do. Look at them using that ruby star fabric. Oh, boy. What a cutie patootie with that pink thread. This is cute. So cute. This feels like another I Spy. You can find something amazing in there. Look at that little guy right there. We've got some Tula fabric. We've got a little bit of everybody in this one. Wow. Ah, yeah, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Love this. Love those circles. What a cool concept. Excellent concept. Oh, it got colorful. This quilt is right up my alley, sitting on that low volume. This is also awesome. Love the binding choice. How did you even do this quilt? How did you make this? We need to talk about how this was actually constructed, because I don't see it just yet. We saw this guy already. Ooh, pretty colors. I love the crack down the center. It's just a little peekaboo. It makes you feel like you can really walk through it. Walk through the doorway. I'm really feeling flying geese right now. And I think this is a play in transparency, maybe? Love the pink binding on that. Is this low volume? I like the shapes that we're playing with here. On top of that, this quilt has layers to it. Lots and lots of layers. Like, not necessarily, but when you look at it, there's some piecing going on behind there, and then they've got the piecing on top. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying that one. Ooh. The colors here. What a great place to be able to put that. I hope that just stays there. Well, unless it's traveling to shows so that I can see it in person. But that's a great piece to hang right where it is in that home. Cat lady. That's cute. Canyon. This was such a creative decision to use that purple behind those colors. I wouldn't have thought to do it, but I think it does work. I think it works. Ooh. Keep it simple. Negative space. Minimalist. I'm here for it. Can't wait to see more of this. I like the colors here. It's just joyous. I want to cuddle that quilt. Talk less, listen more. This makes me want to watch Hamilton, but I guess I won't at 3:00 in the morning. No Hamilton right now. What do you say? Talk less, smile more. These curves are so smooth. You better piece. I see you. Piecing. I mean, that's a smooth curve. The technique is there. I like what's happening here. It's so much movement in that. So much movement. 4 or 5. This is an old quilt. I'm like, what? Stuff Scardo had like 5 quilts accepted this year. Forgive that one. That one slipped in there some kind of way. The Crafty Farmer. What we got? We've got a pretty back. Oh, the quilting is beautiful. Look at the borders. They're feathers. Now that's something I don't see at QuiltCon, or feathers. This one might have been a little too traditional for them, but boy, is it pretty. Boy, is it pretty. I hope I do see a feather at QuiltCon this year. It's a gorgeous quilt. Well, this is cool. People know how to use log cabins just to the best of their ability. Are these multiples? Or is this all one quilt? 3 quilts. Okay. Okay. It feels like 3 separate quilts. Beautiful colors, though. This feels very modern. Look at that bright blue in the background. I like this pattern. Oh, the borders for me. So we've got the one on the top and the right, and the one on the bottom and the left match. It feels balanced. Even the placement of these pieces, these focal pieces, this feels very balanced. It's awesome. Really enjoy this border. Not quite sure how you did it, but oh no, I can see it now. I thought they weren't. No, they're not. That one doesn't go all the way up. That's a really cool border. Cool border. Ooh. Look at this. I hope I see this at another show. Look at the borders, which is also something you don't see a lot of at a QuiltCon show, are borders. I love that you submitted this to QuiltCon. Give them some things to pull from, some variety. I do enjoy this. Look at how it all comes together in the center. Mine would never. I could never. Oh, I'm obsessed with the ombre here. Yeah. These are cool. Very, very cool. Well, that's just neat. How'd you put this cross in here like this? Did you cut your quilt, or is that applique down? Did you cut your quilt open and then piece it back together with that tiny strip? Wow. Wow. Another color challenge. I like the way this was used. I just do. All this red and then the olive, and it's consistent with the blue and the, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this. Oh, we got words. I don't know what it says, but I bet you to tell us something. Say, dear QuiltCon. Whatever. Yep, I got nothing. Oh, it's loads of Easter eggs in this quilt. I love some Easter eggs. I'm going to have to go back and revisit it. Well, this is cool. Handpiece 9 patch. This is awesome. I see where you're going here. Can y'all see the light color right there? And then the black star right there. And then the yes. Yes, I can see where you were going. Improv, improv. My favorite is that chili color in there. I love chili. Is this like a fence down here? It feels like very fence-esque. It feels like a neighborhood. I know it's weird, but that's like my interpretation of this. Look at the hand quilting all the way through this. Wow. It's pretty cool. Ooh. Shape quilt. The fact that this little circle just hangs off just a touch. That's it. That's it for me. Like, that's captured my heart. You win. This looks like a lot of work. It looks like just a lot of work went in. I get it, we're quilters. We put in a lot of work, but I can really see that this is a lot of work. Wow. Interesting colors to pick too. This pink with this navy, with the blue, in a row after row. Wow. Hey, I like this. This feels very, oh, I don't know what the term is for it. It's kind of giving me like, no, it's not that. I think it's just that it's block based, and I like a block. I do like a block. Nice panto, just a nice submission. It's a solid quilt. It feels solid. Another solid quilt. There's nothing wrong with these quilts. Nothing. What a unique shape that happens in here in between, in that light blue area. That could be very interesting. Huh. Something different. There's that quilt again, guys. I didn't mean to put it in here twice, but I really liked it. I wanted to make sure it was in here. Look at all that texture. It's the painting. So cool. Another video. Carolina Onito's watercoloring technique. I wonder if she's teaching this year. It's beautiful. I saw this when this was being made. He will not make a pattern for this, but I think it's cool that he made it. I think it's very, very cool. Such a great concept. He doesn't miss though. All his quilts are exceptional. Exceptional quilts. So here is the post. I wanted to put this in here. Molly Sparkles. He talked about, this is where I got just tons of the information that we talked about in the beginning. If you want to read more about what everybody had to say, check out Molly Sparkles, MOLLI_Sparkles. He went in and just said what it was, and I don't think he was wrong. And he is so eloquently spoken, and his responses to everybody who differed was great. And it's such a respectful conversation. Nobody was acting ugly or anything like that. It was just a great conversation to see. So I think you should check that out. This is my girlfriend Etheleen's open letter. She didn't get into QuiltCon, but last year she won a top award. So she won best in hand quilting, if my mind serves me correctly. And she was just talking about, the amount of quilters, and then she tagged Molly, and it was a whole conversation. And again, I don't think she's wrong. I think there's, just looking at these rejects, I know that there's room for more, not because of the caliber. It's just they only have so many slots. So because some of these are just, they could absolutely fly at QuiltCon for sure. This one right here could fly at QuiltCon, hands down. Oh, it's Krista's though. Krista Quilts is, she exudes all things QuiltCon. Matter of fact, if I were ever going to have a conversation with somebody about the QuiltCon and acceptance and all that kind of stuff, it would be with Krista because she's so knowledgeable. So knowledgeable. Okay, what else we got here? I see some things I love here. Well, I think my favorite is going to be the top left. Top left. Oh, look at this. I love that she has on shoes. I don't know why everybody wants to take these barefoot. Just don't know. That rust with that white. It's pretty. Pretty quilt. Misery loves company. Oh, I thought that was the name of the piece. Oh my goodness. I like diamonds. I like this. Gives an Argyle feel. I'm an Argyle loving gal. We've got another improv piece here with some beautiful hand stitching going through. Look at all that hand stitching. Another shape quilt with some applique work. Y'all were doing the handwork thing. I wonder how this would have hung at QuiltCon in regards to the shape and where that sleeve is. I saw someone do something really cool at Houston, and they mounted their shape quilt to whatever color the drape was going to be. And that was you were able to see the shape, and it still hung beautifully. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. This puts me in a mind of one that I saw last year. I think it was last year, the year before at QuiltCon, that kind of had the same vibe to it. I love everything about this. The color, the shapes, the execution. Nailed it. Aww. I hope this person keeps submitting. They feel like this show isn't for them. Keep going, because you've got a Heidi Parks vibe, and they love Heidi Parks. This feels like I'm looking at a street or something. Feels like a city. Pretty, 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 pretty. And these little kisses of color on the outskirts are just perfection. Lots of movement in all of these. It feels like city blocks. I love this light blue color that's incorporated in there. Oh, the quilting on this. Oh, I hate that I can't get up on it and see it. I wonder if these are pieced or if this is just some fabric. Sure do like how this is reading. Is this a stripe too? Boy, I wonder if this is pieced or if it's just a fabric. Aw. Underwater girl. Oh, she made her her granddaughter's drawing into a quilt. What a perfect place to take a picture. Look at the little chair. I know that's not what I'm supposed to be looking at, but of course I'm looking at the whole scene here. Love the flying geese here and the colors and the flying geese touching that gray. Am I looking at 4 different quilts? Pretty colors on every single one. Well, that's nice, and I like where that is. I wonder if they're going to keep that there. Oh, should take down the family photos. I'm the worst because I'd rather see a quilt than the family photos. I am not a photos on the wall. My mother isn't either. You wouldn't even know she had a daughter if you go in her house. There's like one picture of me. We are just not hang up photos everywhere, people. Well, this is nice. Hand stitching, beautiful. Can't really see what we're working with when they do the pictures like this, but shout out for somebody who submitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quilts, that they had 5 quilts that could be submitted. That's excellent. I love this orange and blue one. Like, these are kind of, I think I'm looking at blocks. It's kind of block based. And I think that one is my favorite. A lot of work with all those half square triangles right there. And I really like the binding down here in the bottom left. And this neon orange, this neon green for the binding. Enjoyed it. Ooh, I love quilts like this. When I say love quilts like this, oh, I wonder if this was entered in the use of negative space. Because yes. I wonder how big this quilt is. Oh, this quilt is pulling me in. 3 quilts. The one in the middle is my favorite. Are these little cups of coffee? Are these cups? Look at the red fading into this rose, this mauve. Color story I never would have thought to do. It is like a mauve or mauve, as people say. And then it's got the brighter color sitting on top. And it goes into that red. That's a very interesting color story. More improv, but like blocks. I like my improv like this. That's a little bit more structured. It's got a structure to it. There's a rule here. It feels like water and trees and like a horizon. Really nice grid quilting. Quilting is perfect. Hey, that's the glitter pattern, the glitter ball pattern. Oh, is this the same person? Oh, okay. You just like holidays. Good for you. Well, that's just cool. Is this playing with transparency? Well, that's just awesome sauce. Oh, I like this too. I feel like I'm looking up. Wonky log cabin for the win. Ooh, some more improv. Okay, so we've got some Heidi Parks influence there. It's a nice use of the color challenge. They omitted that pink. I think my favorite is going to be the one on the right. It's giving me Grinch vibes. It reminds me of that bag I just made. So much texture in that piece. Oh, look, it's kitties. Lots and lots of kitties. Are those all pieced? Well, that's amazing. Bottom left is my favorite. She looks like she's smiling at me. Digging the shape and the colors used here. Lots of texture with that hand quilting going through. This one feels graphic. I like this area right up here to the left. And this one here. And this looks like matchstick quilting. Done very, very well. Okay, so this is a recent Steph Scartle. Is this Steph Scartle's submission? She submitted 6 and all 4, and then she got 4 in. Can't wait. She's one of my favorites. This is Tara Lee Quiltery. This is excellent execution of a plan. Look at how tiny those pictures are. Tiny, tiny, tiny pictures. And then the same picture blown up. This is a very special quilt to her. That eye, look at that. Ooh, look at this going across the quilt. That quilt probably feels so cuddly because it's not just super tightly quilted. Lets it breathe a bit. Something different. I like that. Okay. Working with that clammy shape, which people just absolutely love. Oh, that one felt very, very modern, as does this one. I don't think there's any quilting right here, which tickles me. Is this a big spiral? Ah, it's a spiral, but it's an offset spiral, which I enjoy. Another shape quilt. Is that sitting on top? I wonder what this looks like in person, because that looks like there's 3 things sitting on that. I'm curious to know how they display that one. It's a pretty color story here. Rich. This feels like a very expensive quilt. Very, very expensive. Another shape quilt. This one feels a little wonky, a little whimsical. Love the borders on this. Half square triangles. Even the darkest side is pieced. And then we have a pieced binding. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. I wonder how big this is. Because if this was ginormous, that would be so cool. Look at these little guys. Oh my goodness. People and their tiny piecing. I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all do it better than me. I just cannot get into it, but I do enjoy seeing it. Wow. This feels very cool and easy, like easy feeling. Not easy to execute, but just an easy quilt. Like easy to love. My favorite is going to be the top right, these chains that I think this is a transparency take. Oh, I know it is because I remember seeing their bottom left at one of the shows like PIQF, which I know is a transparency study. Maybe they had a year of transparency studies. 9 quilts at a QuiltCon. 7 emails. Ah. Nope, nada. I think my favorite in this is going to be the upper right. Look at those feathers. They are absolutely gorgeous. Big old feathers. Woo. I cannot wait till I learn to do a big old feather like that. It's amazing. We've got a bit of a collage style here. I love to see that getting entered. Woo! This quilt lives rent-free in my head. This is Corinne Sovey. She's always making something I want, though. Always. I love this quilt. I love this play on transparency. Give me this quilt. I want it. I guess I can make it, but I don't know that I can. Actually, I don't know that I have the skill to make this quilt, but wish I did because it screams QuiltCon to me. It screams it. And then she did another one. Oh, I want her to teach me to make this quilt. I can't even figure out how to do it. And it's like perfectly, she's going to have to tell me. Hopefully she'll be a QuiltCon. Maybe she'll be teaching. I don't know, but I need to know how to make that quilt. How come I can't see the image that I feel like I'm supposed to see in here? What am I missing right now? It's the night quilter. Is this Kitty? Oh, there it is. Is there a woman in there on her knees or something? Yeah, I think that is her. Again, I'm gonna have to go back and read all these. Ooh, look at all that Tula in the background. And then she chose to make it white here. She omitted the Tula right there to break it up. Well, that's cool. This is my friend Etheline who made that post. This was her entry that did not make it in this year. Well, she did a couple of them. Boy, she's cooking. Wow. What an interesting color story told here. She is an improv girly. She loves improv, which is interesting because she's probably one of the best piecers I've ever seen. She can quilt for real, for real. She can piece like for real. What was that? Cat. Look at the kitties and the pretty houses. Well, that's cute. Well, that's a lot of applique work. My goodness. Ooh, you like to applique. Good for you. I want to make this. That's awesome. Those flowers with those 9 patches next to it. Yeah, it feels very Anna Maria, but like you. Who is this? Quilting Jet Girl? This is a play on transparency. Looks a little small though. Excuse me. I love when she quilts her stuff because you never know what's coming. And here, this is cool. It's like a half square. And then it circles in the center. Ooh, excuse me. Is this Quilting Jet Girl too? Oh, well, that's cool. How is this working right here where you overlap that? Love the background. She's had an interesting year this year. But she usually has stuff that gets in, so I'm surprised. But this is very, very interesting. Beautiful quilting. Look at that background, and then what she did in that Tula fabric there. I think that's a Tula pink fabric. That's really interesting. Such an interesting quilter. Ooh, it's Chris's quilt. I have this pattern. I'm making this pattern. Chris did my stuff. Boy, Chris just moves so much faster than me. I was just going crazy hoping that he was going to turn this into a pattern, and he did. You guys can get this. And then we can do log cabin skull. I can't wait to do my take on it. I've been wanting to do a log cabin, and this is the way that I want to do my first log cabin. Can't wait. I hate that his didn't get in because it was neat to watch him put it together. Very, very cool. Hey, I love Elvis. Super random. I don't know how on earth I got into Elvis, but when I tell you I used to watch all the videos like Girls, Jailhouse Rock, I was doing that in like high school. I don't know how I got into Elvis, but like watching all like was it Harem Scarum, like random stuff into Elvis, like super tough. So when I saw this quilt and it was by my friend, I was all in it. I was like, absolutely. I don't know why on earth. It's such a random Mac fun fact that she really is into Elvis. I don't know why. Watch Clam Bake. What was my jam? I sing all the songs. I don't know why. Really, really, really like this. Kudos to everybody who's doing these pixel quilts because they are not for the faint at heart. And she did it like she pieced it. If I was doing a pixel quilt, I would certainly build it on one of those sheets and then just sew the sheets together. But and then we've got the lyrics to one of the songs, and I love everything about it. It's awesome. So we have reached the end of our QuiltCon Reject show. You guys, I absolutely know that there are enough quilts that were amazing that could show at another show. So maybe, you know, one of these days we'll see if your girl does a show. I don't know. I'm contemplating it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows what the future will hold. I'm just super excited to attend QuiltCon. If you guys can't make it, don't worry. Catbird, she's got you covered. She's got a very formal coverage of the show. There's me if you want to see what it's like live, if you want to be in the action, if you want to be hearing all the crazy quilty stuff that's happening at the show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow along. It's gonna be great. They are gonna put together a great show, even though all these amazing quilts have been rejected. I hope that the people who have been rejected continue to keep submitting. It's important that they do that. They are important to this community. They are important to me. I love on them. Love on them in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next one. All right, bye-bye.